In this episode, Auditor Yardley Ski was outside Folkestone Police Station doing a routine audit when an inspector suddenly stormed out, insisting Yardley was on private property. There were no signs, no warnings, nothing that marked the area as restricted. To stay safe, Yardley stepped back behind the gate onto public land and continued filming. But things quickly went downhill. Two poorly trained officers arrived and, instead of respecting the law, came up with every excuse possible to push him away. Yardley stood firm, defended his rights, and ended up being unlawfully arrested. In the end, H&K solicitors took the case. Yardley won a huge payout, and the public once again had to cover the cost of police ignorance and ego.
Okay, so you are?
I'm Inspector Creed. I'm perfectly happy with you filming. No
Fine.
problem with you filming whatsoever.
Cool.
It's just the fact that you're on the police premises here.
Yeah,
and
but
we do ask the public to remain on the public
there's no
area.
signage. There's no signage. There's nothing blocking me
Well, you've
from
just
stopping me from walking round.
Well, there is a barrier there.
Yeah, that's for
and there's
cars.
a fence there.
That's the cars. I didn't jump over anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything I can help you with at all?
Yeah, you can stop abusing my rights and let me film. That's what you said.
I'm not stopping you filming.
Okay, then.
No
well,
problem with you filming
Well, I
at
can
all.
film in the car park. There's nothing stopping me from filming in the car park.
As part of our insurance reasons, as well as the security of the site, we don't allow members of the public on here. So that's why I'm asking you to leave and move out onto the public area. You can either go out here or you can go onto the public access area there. It's entirely up to you.
The inspector's first move was to accuse Yardley of being on private police property, but Yardley immediately showed how weak that claim was. He pointed out the obvious. There were no signs, no warnings, nothing to suggest the land was restricted. In law, if the public is not clearly told an area is private, they cannot be treated as trespassing. Access has to be clear, not hidden behind assumptions. When the inspector tried to argue about a barrier, Yardley corrected him, reminding him it was a car barrier, not a pedestrian one. He never climbed over anything to get in. That's the key point. Walking through an open, unmarked space is lawful. Trespass only applies when someone knowingly enters where they are not allowed. The inspector had nothing to point to. Later in the video, Yardley moved behind the gate to the spot the inspector himself had said was fine. But that's when two hostile officers turned up.
Do your job first.
Well, I'm doing my job.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Step away, go away, get lost. I'm not listening to you. Do not talk to me. Listen, stop talking to me. No, I'm not going to listen to you. And if you touch me, right, that's going to be an assault as well. So just, look, you've got your hands up. You've got your hands up. Right, so excuse out of my way, please. Excuse out of my way. Excuse out of my way.
You can film.
Oh, listen to me. Please get out of my way. Please get out of my way. Get out of my way. Let me
The Chief
pass.
Constable holds the right to restrict your access. Okay, you're more than welcome to film on the public bits, but we can't have you filming by the gate, obviously, because it's got a keypad. Okay, which is a private
I'm not listening
access.
to you, what you're saying. You're just
you
talking.
are.
No, I'm not. You're talking
you
to yourself,
can't
and I'm
film-
going
Right,
forward.
so listen,
And I'm going
there.
forward. Do not listen. You're standing right in front of me.
Well, I'm saying, Michael, I'm
Right.
not
So
gonna let you do that.
why not?
Because it's an implied right of access.
No,
we have the
listen.
right
I've
to
got
remove you.
I've got a right of access. I've been told. Okay,
No.
by an
Yeah, you
inspector. By an inspector.
And this right of
Okay.
access is now being revoked.
No, we'll go and get an inspector to revoke it because I've been told
We're asking you to
by an
move
inspector that I
don't
can
need
film
an
here.
inspector. I don't need an
No,
inspector to
well,
revoke.
I've been told that I can film here.
What I am happy
I've
to
been
do.
told. No. Listen.
told you
I've
what's
been-
upsetting you.
Nothing. Well, you're upsetting me because you're not doing your job. He just went and threatened me.
Right, but the reason I hear
No. He just went and threatened me.
The officers tried to push Yardley back from the gate even though he was clearly standing on public land. One officer wrongly claimed that implied right of access gave them the power to remove him. That is completely false. Implied access only applies to the public entering private property for a lawful reason, like approaching a house. It does not apply to someone on public ground. This meant they had no legal power to move him. Yardley also pointed out that the inspector had already told him he could stand there, which should have ended the matter. Instead, one officer made it worse by saying the right had now been revoked. Only the landowner or someone with real authority can revoke access, and Yardley wasn't even on private land in the first place. When the officer then claimed he didn't need an inspector's authorization, it only showed how reckless and clueless his approach was.
He just went and threatened me. So you're telling me somebody can threaten you anywhere, but all you're worrying about is me not filming in a place of...
At the moment, yes.
Yeah. Why?
Correct.
Who started the initial crime? Who initially evokes
At
a
the
crime?
moment, I'm here because you're here.
No.
Filming in a place you're
Well, you
not allowed
shouldn't
to
be.
film.
You should be after that guy first because he's getting away. Who is he?
At the moment,
Who's that bloke?
I don't know.
Why don't you know that?
Because I don't work with him.
So how are you going to find him?
Well, we've got CCTV. I'll identify.
Okay.
That, okay.
Oh, yeah,
What I'm more concerned about at the moment.
No, I'm not going nowhere. I've been
that
told
you
that I can
can't
film it. I can.
You can, but you
I can
can't
film it.
here.
I can film it. No, and I'm telling you that I've been told by an inspector that I can film here.
inspector was it?
Okay, Inspector Creed. Okay, now off you go because this is what he said. Okay, I can film here. So unless another inspector comes down and wants to tell me that, no, I'm not going to take it from
I
you.
have the right to
No.
tell you can't film it.
No, you're not going to supersede the inspector because he told me that I can film here.
Okay, from
All
my
right?
sergeant and from my inspector.
No.
I've been told
Which inspector?
inside.
Who's the inspector?
Inspector Cutter.
Okay, where's Inspector Cutter?
He's in the building.
Okay, we'll go and get Inspector Cutter to
Not
come
at
out
the
and tell me.
moment, because I'm asking you.
No, and I'm politely
Politely.
refusing, and I'm
Politely.
declining because I've already been told by Inspector Creed that I can film here. So
And we have.
I don't believe
we
you.
have the right
I don't believe
to
you.
Overrule that.
I don't believe you.
The exchange showed how far these officers were willing to twist the truth. Yardley kept reminding them that an inspector had already said he could film from that spot, which should have ended the argument. But the officer claimed another inspector said he could not film and then refused to bring that inspector out. When Yardley again mentioned that Inspector Creed had confirmed he could, the officer replied, "We have the right to overrule that." That's nonsense on every level. A constable cannot overrule an inspector. The rank system does not work that way, and the law certainly does not bend to their opinion. Filming in public is lawful, and no officer has the authority to change that, no matter what rank they hold.
Anyway, do you know something? You're trying to talk, right? And I've already told you. No. It's not that you're making sense or not. I've already told you that I'm not allowing you to talk simply because I want you to do something which you haven't done. So therefore, by you carrying on with your waffle, right, I'm giving you that opportunity to talk. But I'm not going to give you that opportunity to talk, so I'm going to stop you right there. When an inspector comes out, yeah, then he can tell me that. I'll tell him that what Inspector Creed says. We'll have that discussion there. Because as far as I'm concerned, yeah, I have been given, right, the right to film here. And no, I'm not talking to you no more. I'm telling you, right? I've just told you.
Why let's have a conversation?
Don't worry about it, all
I
right?
don't understand why you're being.
Because I want you to go and sort out this first thing. You're not doing it. You're not doing your job. You're standing there, wasting time, my time, your time, everybody's time.
What I don't.
Right?
What's the reason for filming here? That's what I know that you can, but what's the reason?
Well, it'd be a bit hard to draw stuff, so I've got my camera out.
On the body cam footage, the same two officers returned to Yardley and began threatening him, saying what they would arrest him under if he refused to leave.
So what I'm saying to you, okay, all we need to know, or what we're happy with you doing, is filming, obviously outside of the more public areas. That's absolutely fine. Don't stop you doing that, okay? All we ask that under Section 68 of the Criminal Justice Public Order Act 1994, okay, is not to film.
Are you detaining me?
Not at the moment.
Are you giving me a caution? Stop telling me to listen.
I'm giving you a warning.
Stop. No. Are you cautioning me?
I'm not cautioning you.
Well then, I don't want to hear no section, nothing. Am I doing anything wrong?
It's just
Am I doing anything wrong? No. Am I doing anything wrong?
When you were
Am I doing anything
film
wrong?
registration plates are doing something wrong.
Listen. Don't tell me that I was filming registrations plates, okay? Get some concrete evidence and then come and start telling me all these things. Otherwise,
I never said
go
you did.
away. You keep on. You just did.
I'm telling you, under that section.
Under what section? A section what? Doing what?
Is if you begin to start filming registration plates, keypads, people coming in and out of the building, it's obstructing the day-to-day business.
No, it's not. I'm not obstructing anybody, and I can stand in. Get lost.
Yeah,
do you know something? I can stand in a public place and I can film whatever I want.
Yeah. And we can arrest you for aggravating trespass.
You can't.
Okay.
You can't.
Yes, we can.
Get lost. You can't.
Yeah, we can, and we will do if you carry on.
Section 68 makes it a crime to trespass on private land with the intention of disrupting or obstructing lawful activity. Yardley's situation was nothing like that. He was on public ground, filming quietly and not obstructing anyone. Filming registration plates is not illegal. They are required by law to be displayed in public. Suggesting that Section 68 applied here showed a shocking lack of understanding of the legislation. But instead of backing off, the officers pushed further. When Yardley went back inside to file a complaint, just 5 minutes later those same two officers came in and arrested him under Section 68.
Do these questions relevant? Oh, Security, I know how to treat you, what your experience is and what you may or may not know.
I'm not somebody who gets myself into trouble.
Okay, no, that's fine. Right, well, long story short, I'm a classic sergeant, so it's my job to look after you here and ensure you're dealt with fairly as well.
Okay.
To that end, I'm going to ask obviously a few questions to find out why you're here, and I've got some questions for you, see how you're doing physically and mentally.
Okay.
Bearing in mind when I ask the officers about why you're here, that is them explaining why they've done what they've done. That's not an allegation to you for you to sort of necessarily reply to, okay? Because otherwise we'll end up in a conversation, I suspect. Okay.
Yardley's arrest under Section 68 wasn't just thrown out. It ended up costing the force thousands. Yardley himself walked away with 1,500 pounds in damages. The real sting was in the breakdown. Over 2,000 pounds in counsel's fees, court fees, and nearly 5,000 pounds in additional costs, all adding up to almost 10,000 pounds once VAT was included. And who paid? Not the officers who lied about powers. Not the ones who carried out the unlawful arrest. It was the taxpayer. The public was left covering the bill for officers who could not apply the law properly. That's the insult on top of the injury. What made it worse is that the whole legal fight was avoidable. If the officers had stuck to facts instead of ego, there would have been no lawsuit, no settlement, no wasted public money. Instead, they doubled down on an arrest they had no lawful grounds for, forcing the case to court where it collapsed. Settling was the only option left for the force, because defending the indefensible would have cost them even more. This is what happens when officers think their authority outweighs the law. Sooner or later, the law catches up. Yardley was not trespassing. He was on public land, openly filming, bothering no one. And trespass itself is not even a crime. It's a civil matter. To use aggravated trespass, you first need trespass. And the officers couldn't prove that because it never happened. The defense wording makes it clear. If someone is not a trespasser, Section 68 cannot apply. The law doesn't bend to police opinion. It requires evidence, and there was none. Yardley was not obstructing, intimidating, or interfering with anything. The officers tried to stretch legislation that didn't fit, and the court saw right through it. The arrest itself showed their true mindset. Yardley walked back inside to complain, as he was entitled to, and within minutes those same officers handcuffed him. Nothing had changed in those 5 minutes. No crime had been committed, except that Yardley had dared to challenge them. That made the arrest retaliatory, not lawful, and destroyed any credibility in their claims of keeping the peace. The financial fallout made it worse. The force had no choice but to settle, paying Yardley compensation alongside thousands in legal costs. And once again, it wasn't the officers who paid. It was the public. Taxpayers had to clear up a mess caused by poor judgment and unlawful policing. Money that could have gone into real policing was wasted instead on defending behavior that should never have happened. This episode proves how fragile policing becomes when procedure is replaced with emotion. At every stage, Yardley stayed calm, logical, and within the law, while the officers stumbled from one mistake to another until their frustration turned into an unlawful arrest. In the end, Yardley didn't just win in court. He showed on camera that when officers overstep, it isn't the law that protects them. It's the public who ends up paying for their mistakes.